They say rice is food for the living, but in my village, rice is also food for the dead. In a small town on the edge of the Niger Delta, where secrets drown in the muddy rivers and blood seeps in the red earth, something dark stirs beneath the surface. Every family knows the ritual. When the dead comes to call, they bring rice, not just to feed hungry souls, but to bury the truth. Chinedu had never believed in old village tales. A young man full of dreams, he left for Lagos to chase a better life. But when a strange letter arrived, summoning him back home, he finds himself trapped in a web of sorrow, betrayal, and blood that refused to be buried. Grab a seat, relax, and enjoy. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more lovely videos like this. Chinedu sat alone in his small Lagos apartment. The city's noise pounding like a restless drum. His phone buzzed with a message, a letter scanned and sent by his uncle back home. The words were few but cold. Grandma Ineka is dead. Come home. His heart clenched. Grandma Ineka, who had raised him, was a mystery, strict, quiet, and feared in the village. He hadn't seen her in years. Lagos was his world now, far from superstition and old stories. But something inside told him that was no ordinary death. That night, sleep abandoned him. He saw rice fields from his childhood, golden greens weaving in the sun, and faces of the dead calling him back. The bus rattled along the cracked road, leaving behind the noise and lights of Lagos. Chinedu heart beat faster with each mile closer to his village. The air grew thick with the smell of wet earth and smoke from distant fire. He hadn't been home for 5 years. When the bus finally stopped, he stepped down into a world that felt frozen in time. The dusty streets were empty, except for a few old men sitting by the shrine under a large iroko tree. They stared at him silently. Chinedu carried his small bag on his back. At the compound, the house were just like he remembered, old mud walls, cracked by years of rain, a roof patched with rusty sheets. But the silence inside was strange. No laughter, no cooking smell. His uncle, Emeka, waited on the couch, his face lined with worries. Chinedu, Emeka said quietly, "It's worse than we thought." Chinedu frowned. "What do you mean?" Emeka looked away. "Since Grandma died, people have been disappearing. Some say it's curse." Chinedu felt a chill. Curse? Like the stories he used to laugh at. Before he could ask more, a soft voice called from the kitchen. "Chinedu, you are here." It was Ijoma, his childhood friend. Her eyes were red from crying. She held a small bowl of cooked rice. "Take this," she said. "It's for the dead. Grandma asked me to give it to you." Chinedu took the bowl, confused. "For the dead?" he repeated. Ijoma nodded, her voice trembling. "You must eat it, or they will not rest." Chinedu stared at the white grains, feeling the weight of something he couldn't yet understand. That night, Chinedu sat alone on the wooden veranda, the bowl of rice on the table before him. The village was silent, except for the distant croak of frogs and the rustle of leaves. He picked up a spoon and ate. The rice tasted strange, like it carried a memory. Suddenly, the air grew cold. Chinedu shivered. A whisper came from the shadows. "Chinedu, Chinedu." He looked around, but saw no one. His heart pounded. Was it his mind playing tricks? The whisper came again, clearer. "Rise for the dead. The truth is buried." He dropped the spoon. Fear and curiosity battled inside him. What was this cause? What truth was buried under the rice field? He knew he had no choice but to find out. The next morning, Chinedu woke up before dawn. The village was still quiet, but he could feel something heavy in the air. He decided to visit the rice fields, where he spent his childhood playing. Maybe answers lay there. As he walked through the tall grain stalks, he noticed strange marks on the ground, footprints leading to a small clearing near the river. There, hidden under the palm leaves, was a bundle wrapped in cloth. Chinedu's hands trembled as he unwrapped it. Inside, he found old papers and a small carved wooden box. He opened the box slowly. Inside was a handful of rice grain, blackened and dry. A note lay beneath them. It read, "Rice feeds the dead. It binds their soul. Beware those who steal it." Suddenly, footsteps behind him made him spin around. It was Ijoma. "You shouldn't be here," she whispered urgently. "The rice is more than food. It holds power." Chinedu stared. "Power? What power?" Before she could understand, a scream echoed from the village. Chinedu and Ijoma ran back to the village square. A crowd had gathered around a lifeless body, their neighbor Nnamdi. His face was pale, eyes widened open in terror. No one knows what happened, whispered Emeka, but they'll say it was cursed. Chinedu's stomach twisted. This was no ordinary death. He looked at the bowl of rice, still in his room. Was it connected? Later that night, Chinedu's phone buzzed. A message: stop digging or join the dead. The warning was clear, but Chinedu's mind was made up. He would uncover the truth, even if it cost him everything. The village elders called a meeting at the shrine under the great Iroquois tree. Chinedu sat among the villagers, tension thick like heavy rain. Eda Obi, a tall man with silver hair, spoke with a voice like thunder. The rice is sacred. It connects us to our ancestors. But someone has broken the rule. Murmur spreads. Who? Chinedu asked. Chinedu's eyes searched the crowd. He saw his uncle Emeka's face, pale, sweating. Was he hiding something? That night, Chinedu visited his uncle, small hut. Emeka sat by a dim fire, looking older and worn. Uncle, what don't you want me to know? Chinedu asked. Emeka sighed deeply. There is a secret. Your grandmother was part of a group called Rice Keepers. They protect the village, but at a price. Chinedu felt a cold wave of fear. What price? Emeka looked away. Sometimes the dead demand a sacrifice. Someone must feed rice for the dead, or face the wrath. Chinedu's mind reeled. Was his family part of this darkness? The next day, whispers filled the village like a rising storm. Another body was found. This time, a young woman, tied near the river bank, her eyes wide with terror. Chinedu's heart sank. The cause was real, and it was spreading fast. He visited the rice field again, searching for answers. Underneath the soil, he found more blackened rice grain, scattered like a warning. Ijoma met him there again. They said the rice keeper demanded justice. They punished those who betrayed the village. Chinedu's fist clenched. Who betrays and why? She shook her head. I don't know, but if you keep digging, you will be next. That night, Chinedu confronted his uncle again. Emeka, is our family cursed? Emeka's eye filled with pain. Your grandma tried to protect us, but someone broke the sacred trust. Chinedu's voice dropped. Who? Before Emeka could answer, the door burst open. A shadow moved quickly, then a sharp scream. Chinedu turned, but it was too late. The shadow fled into the night, leaving behind a chilling silence. Emeka lay on the floor, blood staining his shirt. Chinedu knelt beside him, heart pounding. Who did this? He whispered. Emeka's breath was shallow. It's someone close. Before he could say more, his eyes closed. Chinedu's world shattered. He vowed then to find the traitor and end the curse. The village was restless. Fear had taken root in every home. Chinedu moved quietly, listening to every whisper, watching every glance. He found Ijoma near the shrine, tears streaking her face. They want to kill us all, she said. Who? Chinedu demanded. She shook her head. The rice keepers, and the ones who betrayed them. Suddenly, footsteps approached. Chinedu grabbed her hand. We must be careful. The dead are hungry, and so is this course. Later in the night, Chinedu and Ijoma met again in the old shrine. She pulled out a worn leather journal. Flipping through the page, Chinedu saw names, ritual and warnings. The rice keepers weren't just protectors, they were judges. They punished betrayal with death. And the rice, it was part of the course. The grain held the soul of those who broke the rules. Chinedu heart sank. This is why people are dying. Word spread that Chinedu was searching for answer. One evening, a stranger came knocking, a tall man with sharp eyes. My name is Okoro, he said. I want to help. Chinedu was suspicious. Why should I trust you? Okoro smiled faintly. Because I lost my family to this cause too. Chinedu weighed his option. Trust could save him or destroy him. Okoro led Chinedu through the narrow paths deep into the forest. The rice keepers met here, Okoro whispered. Tonight, they decide who lives and who dies. Chinedu heart pounded. The clearing was lit by flickering torches. Masked figures stood in a circle, chanting softly. At the center was a large bowl filled with rice. Glory. Suddenly, one figure raised a hand. The traitor must pay. Chinedu breath caught. Could this be the moment to uncover the truth? As the chanting grew louder, Chinedu felt a grim in his arms. From the shadows, a voice boomed. Chinedu, you dare watch the crowd turned. Chinedu stepped forward. This end tonight. The masked figure parted, revealing the village chief. His face stern, eyes cold. You don't understand, he said. The cause protects us all. The traitor threatened everything. Chinedu's voice shook but was firm. Who is the traitor? A figure stepped forward. It was Emeka's wife, Chinedu's aunt. I did what I had to do, she said, eyes fierce, to save our family. Gasps filled the air. Betrayal ran deep. Chinedu stared at his aunt, torn between anger and sorrow. The rice feeds the dead, she whispered, but sometimes the living must pay. The chief raised a knife, signaling a ritual sacrifice. Chinedu stepped forward. I won't let this continue. Tension cracked in the air. In that moment, the village's fate hung on one decision. Chinedu heart pounded as the chief raised the knife higher. I am not afraid, Chinedu said loudly. This cause will end tonight. A murmur swept through the crowd. His aunt's eye flashed with anger and fear. You don't understand the power you challenge. Suddenly from the shadow, Okoro stepped forward. We have the chance to break the cycle, Okoro said. If we stop feeding the rice to the dead, the cause die. The villager gasped. The chief hesitated, then lowered his knife. Are you willing to risk everything? Chinedu nodded. Ijoma stepped beside him. The crowd was silent. A long moment passed. Then the chief signed. Very well, but the dead will not forget. The villagers gathered in the clearing surrounding the glowing bowl of rice. Chinedu took the bowl and with steady hands poured the rice onto the earth. From this day we shall choose peace, he said. A silence followed, heavy and deep. The glowing light faded. Weeks passed and life returned to Amakiri. Family rebuilt their homes and laughter returned to the streets. Chinedu stood by the river, watching the sunset. Ijama came beside him, holding a small bowl of plain white rice. For the living now, she smiled. Chinedu nodded. The dead will rest. And with that, the village began to heal. The moral of this story, Rise for the Dead, teaches us that clinging to fear and harmful tradition can trap communities in endless cycle of pain and loss. True strength comes from courage to confront dark past, forgive betrayal, and choose hope and peace. Only by breaking the chain of fear and suspicion can a people heal and build a future filled with life, not death. Thank you so much for watching this video. Your time, your presence, and your support means the world to me. If this story touched your heart, made you think, or simply gave you something to feel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a moment of this powerful story we share here. This channel is a place of emotion, of love, of deep reflection, where African tales come alive with heart and soul. And trust me, more beautiful, heartwarming, and unforgettable stories are on the way. Stories that will make you laugh, cry, and remember what it means to truly feel. So once again, thank you for being part of this journey. Please like, comment, and share this video with someone who needs a little inspiration today. Until next time, stay safe, stay kind, and expect more lovely stories from this channel. Subscribe now, and let's keep this beautiful journey going ahead. Thank you.